Good morning, one and all. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Morning, ma'am.
Very good morning, ma'am. Can you just wait for a couple of minutes, ma'am? Let's wait for a few more
Okay,
minutes so that
today
we can
I'm
join.
going to present a webinar on image segmentation. Okay, is it audible?
Ma'am, Pavitra, ma'am,
Yeah, sir.
ma'am, we can wait for a few more minutes so that other faculties can join.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Madam, is it audible?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir?
When you are going to start the session, madam?
Okay, sir. Shall I start, sir?
No. That our biotech HOD should say, madam.
Yes, ma'am. I think, sir,
That biotech, sir.
yes, sir, we can initiate now. Moving into the presentation, I will give some brief introduction about Pavitra.
It's not audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, little bit.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Research Cell, I welcome all our HODs and faculty members for this technical webinar series to be presented by our internal faculties. It's a routine activity which is being carried out by the Research Cell to update our faculties in the emerging areas of science, technology, engineering, and management. Today, we are going to have a session on image segmentation, going to be delivered by Ms. M. Pavitra. Before moving into the session, let me give you a brief introduction about Pavitra, ma'am. She joined in our institution in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering as an assistant professor. She completed her undergraduate Computer Science and Engineering in GKM College of Engineering and Technology, and she finished her master's in specialization of software engineering in Anna University College of Engineering, Guindy campus. Her area of interest includes operating systems, computer networks, web design and management, and software testing. She secured Anna University rank holder in her master's and she achieved third rank. She is certified by President APJ Abdul Kalam as a Rashtrapati Guide, and she is also certified by our ex-governor Surjit Singh Barnala as a Raja Puraskar Guide. She had a work experience of 2 years in various engineering college, and she has published a paper in International Journal of Emerging Technology in Computer Science and Electronics. She has also presented papers in several conferences. Pavitra ma'am, the mic is yours. Kindly enlighten our participants with your area of expertise.
Yeah, I invite everyone to this webinar, and thank you for joining this webinar. Okay, and then I'm proud to present in this webinar the topic of image segmentation. Okay, shall I start now, sir?
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, cannot able to hear, sir. It is
you can proceed. You can proceed now.
Okay, sir. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm Pavitra of CSC department. I have joined this college. Before 2 months. Okay, I'm here to present a topic on image segmentation. Image segmentation is nothing but it is segmenting the image into two things like foreground and background image. So that is the thing we are going to see in this image segmentation. Before going to the image segmentation, we have to know about some basic concepts like what is an image, what are the types of images, and then pixel, what is an pixel, and what is a gray level, and what is bit, what is digital image processing, histogram, and then image segmentation. Finally, we will move on to image segmentation. Okay. So the first thing is image. Okay. So what is an image here? Image is nothing but it is an two-dimensional signal, and then it is defined by a mathematical function which is called as f of x comma y. Here this x represents the values in the horizontal axis and y represents the values in the vertical axis. If you press an image or click an image, there will be some squared boxes. If you zoom an image, you see an image means there will be some squared boxes. For each and every squared boxes, there will be a value. Okay, so that is called as an pixel value. That is represented as an function called as f of x comma y. The value of f of x comma y at any point, which gives the pixel value at a particular point of an image. Okay, so this is an this is a digital image. Okay, so this is nothing but it is a two-dimensional array of numbers which ranges from 0 to 255. And then this is an image matrix. Okay, we can also call it as an image plane. Okay, the digital image is represented in the form of an image plane like this. Okay, so this value ranges from 0 to 255. It depends upon the type of image. Okay, so each and every number represents the value of the function f of x comma y at that particular point. In this case, the value 128 or 232 or 123, anything, okay, it represents an individual pixel value. Okay, so each and every image has been divided into several pixels, and each and every pixel has a value. Okay, so we will move on to the types of images over here. Okay, so types of images in the sense they are several kinds of images like binary images, colored image like that. Okay, so we will see what is a binary image. Binary image is nothing but it is the simplest type of image. It will take only two values. One is 0 or 1. Okay, so 0 represents black and then 1 represents white color. Okay, so if it is 0 means the image is of fully black. Okay, in the case of it has one value means the image is fully white. Okay, so it consists of an 1-bit image and it takes only one binary digit to represent a pixel. So it is nothing but 2 to the power of 1. So 2 to the power of 1 in the sense it will be having two values, that is 0 and 1. Okay, so binary images are mostly used for general shape or outline. Okay, it is mostly used in the case of optimal character recognition. For example, it is used in the case of optimal character recognition. Okay, so these binary images are generated using the threshold operation. Threshold is nothing but some cutoff value has been determined by ourselves, and by using that cutoff value, we will separate the image as an white colored image or an black colored image. Okay, so when a pixel value is above the threshold value, then the image is fully turned into white. Okay, or else if it is below the threshold value, then it is turned into the black. Okay, so this is called as a binary image. So when moving on to the grayscale image, they are monochrome images. It means they have only one color. Okay, it do not contain any information about that particular color and all. Okay, so each and every pixel determines the available different gray levels. The gray levels which ranges from 0 to 255. Okay, so it they will say like the image contains the 8-bit pixel data. Okay, so 8-bit pixel data in the sense it has several variations of color from 0 to 255. If it represents 0, it is black, and then if it represents 255, it is white. Okay, or else it represents 127 means it is gray color. Okay, like that it represents the value represents the several colors. Okay, so this is a kind of grayscale image. Okay, the next thing is colored image. Colored image or nothing but they are the 3-band monochrome image. So each band contains a different colors and the actual informations are stored on the digital image itself. Okay, so these images are represented as RGB manner. Okay, RGB is nothing but red, green and blue. Okay, so each and every color image has an 24 bits per pixel, which means each and every color has been distributed somewhat 8 bits. Okay, for red it is distributed 8 bits, and for green it is distributed some 8 bits. For blue it is distributed some 8 bits. Okay, by combining these three things we will get some 24 bits. Okay, so using the 24 bits we will frame and colored a colored panel like that. Okay, so that is called as an we will have some color shades using that. Okay, so these are the kinds of colored image. It's a combination of red, green and blue. Okay, in this color image there are several format like 16-bit color format, 24-bit color format like that. Okay, so we will see that this is 8-bit color format. This is mostly used in the grayscale images. Okay, so the grayscale images, as I told already, it ranges from 0 to 255 colors. Okay, so starts from 0. So 0 is for black and 255 is for white, and then 127 for gray color. Okay, so this 8-bit color format is known as a grayscale image. So initially it is used in the Unix operating system. Okay, in the case of 16-bit color format, it is in representation of the color images. Okay, so it is also known as the high color format, and it has some 65,536 colors. I mean, different color shades will be there. Okay, so it is being developed, I mean, it is developed by the Microsoft, and then it is divided into 3 formats like red, green, blue, and each and every color I mean forms an RGB format manner. Okay, for example, see here in RGB format there are 5 bits separated for R, and then 6 bits for G, and finally 5 bits for blue. Okay, so one additional bit is added in the green, because in all the 3 colors the green color is an very attractive to the eyes. Okay, so this is an RGB 60 bits palette. Okay, so in this the green color is a very attractive one. Okay, because it has been added an additional 1 bit to that green color. Okay, the next thing is 24-bit color format. So in this 24-bit color format, it's also a combination of red, green, and blue, where each and every color has been distributed some 8 bits over for each and every color. Okay, so for red they have been given 8 bits, and for green they have been given 8 bits, and for blue they have been given 8 bits separately. Okay, so this is a 24-bit color format, and these are the different colors used in the 24-bit color format. Okay, so these are the types of images, and then the color format used in the particular images. Okay, the next thing we are going to see about what is pixel. Okay, so pixel is nothing but it is an smallest element of an image. Okay, so each and every pixel, it contains a value. So that value is nothing but the pixel intensity value. That intensity refers to the brightness, texture, color, anything. Okay, so in an 8-bit grayscale image, the value of the pixel, which ranges from 0 and 255. Okay, so the value of a pixel at a particular point, it corresponds to the intensity of the light photons which are striking at that specific point. Okay, so each and every pixel which stores a value, and it is proportional to the light intensity at that particular location. So this pixel, see here, this is an example of explaining the pixel. See here, this is an image. If I zoom the image, means there will be some squared boxes. Okay, for each and every squared boxes, this squared boxes is called as an pixel over here. Okay, so this is a pixel, this is a pixel, and this is a pixel. Okay, so here each and every pixel contains a value. Okay, so that value is called as an intensity value. Okay, so this intensity value is also known as a gray level. Okay, so this is a representation of pixel. So see here, so each and pixel box has a value. Okay, so that value ranges from 0 to 255. Okay, so 0 represent it is an black color. Okay, and then 255 means somewhat a white color, and then 127 means it represents the gray color. Okay, so 170 means it is some color. Okay, the ranges is nothing but it represents the color. Okay, so this is the pixel representation. The next thing is how do you calculate the total number of pixels in an image. Okay, to calculate the total number of pixels, we have to know the total number of rows and total number of columns. Okay, so total number of pixel is given as number of rows into number of columns. Okay, so we can another thing we can say that the number of x comma y, it coordinate the pairs which make the total number of pixels. Okay, see here, if there is a 6 rows and 6 column means, then the total number of pixels is determined by 6 into 6 equal to 36. Okay, so there will be 36 number of pixels, but the pixel value is different from the total number of pixels. Okay, so the total number of pixels is 36, but each and every pixel has a different value. Okay, the value corresponds to the color. Okay, so correspond to the color in the sense it varies from 0 to 255. Okay, the next thing is gray level. Okay, I told already that each and pixel has a value. Okay, so that is called as an intensity of an pixel. Okay, that intensity is called as a gray level here. Okay, so the value of the pixel at any point which denotes the intensity of an image, okay, at the particular location, it is called as a gray level. Okay, so the value of the minimum gray level is 0. The minimum gray level in the sense it represents the black color. Okay, so it depends upon the depth of the image. This gray level which depends upon the depth of the image. Okay, so depth of the image is nothing but it also corresponds to the color, or a texture of an image or brightness of an image like that. Okay, so for example, in an 8-bit image, the gray level is 255. So for a binary image, the gray level lies between 0 and 1. That is 0 or 255. Okay, so in color image, it can choose the values between 0 to 255. Okay, so here they have given like what is pixel value of 0. Okay, so pixel value of 0 is nothing but these every pixel contains only one value, and each and every value denotes the intensity of the light. Okay, at a unique value 0, it says that there is no light. Okay, that is there is an absence of light over there. Okay, so it means that 0 denotes dark, and it further means that each and every pixel has a value 0, means in that point there will be a black color image formed. Okay, so see here, this is a representation of an image. Okay, that is a black image. Okay, so each and every pixel contains the value as 0 over here. Okay, and the total number of pixels here is 9, and the pixel value is 0 over here. If it is 0, means the image would be fully black. Okay, so this is an example of the particular image. Okay, so the next thing is bits. So bits is nothing but it denotes the number of bits per pixel. Okay, so we already know about what is a bit. Okay, if it is an 1 bit, means it will represent the two numbers like 0 and 1. Okay, if it is a combination of 2 bits, means 2 to the power of 2 equal to 4 combination will be made, like a 0 0 0 1 1 0 or 1 1 like that. Okay, and the thing, it is goes on like 2 to the power of 3 means 8 colors will be there, and 2 to the power of 4 means 16 colors will be there. Okay, so this is the formula representation of the bits. So 2 to the power of BPP. Okay, if you give 1 here, there will be 2 colors. If you give 2 over here, 2 to the power of 2 means 4 colors will be there. Okay, it represents the number of colors. Okay, so the next thing is, we will see about what is digital image processing. Okay, so image processing means it contains it's a combination of image extraction, morphing, everything. Okay, image segmentation. Okay, so digital image processing is nothing but a software which is used in image processing. It is used in the case of computer graphics, signals, etc. Okay, so it also provides a platform to perform the various operations like image enhancing, processing of analog and digital signals, and then image signals, voice signals, etc. Okay, so it provides the image in the different format. Okay, if you want to process the image in different format, you have to use the image processing techniques. Okay, so applications in the sense, where do we use image processing? So image shortening and restoration. In the case of image zooming, blurring, okay, so we will use the image processing techniques. Okay, so medical field, in the sense, the common applications of medical fields are gamma rays imaging, and then scanning, okay, X-ray imaging. In this case and all, the digital image processing are used. Okay, so remote sensing, in the case, it is the process of scanning the earth by the use of satellite and acknowledges all activities of the space. Okay, so these are the various applications where the digital image processing are used. Okay, so the next thing we have to know about, the important thing is histogram. Okay, using this histogram only, we have to we will separate the image as the foreground or the background image. Okay, without knowing what is histogram, we cannot able to do anything in image segmentation. Okay, so histogram is nothing but it is a graphical representation of an digital image. Okay, if the image is given, means we will represent the image in a graphical manner. Okay, by using the some pixel values and all. Okay, so that is called as an histogram here. A graph is plot by the number of pixels for each and every tonal value. Okay, a graph is plot by using the tonal value of the particular image. Okay, so that graph is called as an histogram here. Okay, so nowadays the image histogram is also used in the digital cameras also. Okay, so the photographers use them to see the distributions of tones whichever they captured in a particular image. Okay, so in a graph, the horizontal axis of the graph is used to represent the tonal variations. That means if there is a graph, means the horizontal axis represents the pixel intensity value, that is the gray level. Okay, that is also called as a tonal variations, color tonal variations. Okay, so horizontal axis represents the tonal variations, and the vertical axis represents the number of times that occurs in the particular plane. Okay, the pixel, I mean, they have been specific value for an pixel, no. So if it is a 2 means how many times the 2 has occurred in the particular plane. Okay, so you have to describe it in the vertical axis. Okay, so the black and dark areas are represented in the left side of the horizontal axis, and the medium gray color is represented in the middle, and the vertical axis represents the size of the area. Okay, so the next thing is, this is the diagrammatic representation of histogram. So this is a digital image. I have converted this image into an histogram. Okay, I will explain in detail how I will convert this thing to this. Okay, so see here, image segmentation. Okay, so this image segmentation is a common task which arises in many situations. It is used in the case of extracting a face from an image or else a character in a text for performing an automatic recognition. Okay, so it is mainly used to separate the foreground pixels. I mean, that is nothing but the objects of interest. We will call as objects of interest. Okay, the object that we want. Okay, we will separating the foreground pixels from the background pixels. Okay, and then this segmentation, this aims to partition a given image into a set of regions in the terms of some properties. Okay, so the properties are called as connectivity and homogeneity. Okay, homogeneity in the sense they have the same property in the terms of colors or textures like that. Okay, so this object or the region which can be characterized using the multiple low level features like brightness or color or texture, etc. Okay, so in this experiment we are just aiming to partition a given image into two things. One is the foreground image, and then another thing is background image. Okay, and here we are going to see about the technique which is called as an histogram based thresholding segmentation. Okay, so we will see what is in foreground and background of an image. Okay, see, the foreground of an image is nothing but this is an area of the picture space which is nearest to the viewer. Okay, and which is immediately behind the picture plane, which is called as an foreground. Okay, see, this is a given image, and this is the foreground image, and this is the background image. Okay, so background is nothing but it is defined as the dissimilarity between the objects and the surroundings. Okay, the next thing is the main objective of the image segmentation, as I told already, you have to separate the the foreground and the background image, and we will know the difference between what is single thresholding and the double thresholding. Okay, you are segmenting the image by using the thresholding concept, that is the histogram based thresholding concept. Okay, so see, we will see what is thresholding first of all. Okay, so when the objects of interest in an image are clearly differentiated, if you want the image, okay, particular image in an particular object in an image, okay, in terms of brightness, anything, okay, then the image histogram is helping characterizing the foreground and the background pixel. Okay, so this image shows the differentiation of background and the foreground. This object is nothing but this is the foreground image and this is the background image. Okay, using this graph representation only, we will separate the foreground and the background image. Okay, this graph representation is nothing but this is an histogram. Okay, so see here, this figure shows the histogram which represent the foreground and the background regions of a particular image. Okay, by selecting an appropriate gray value, okay, on the x-axis. Okay, so this x-axis represents the different pixel intensity value. Okay, by selecting the appropriate gray value point as a threshold, all the pixels with the value below the threshold can be considered to be the foreground, and all the pixel value above the particular threshold thing has been considered into the background. Okay, so we will see in detail. See, this is a technique using single threshold. Okay, I'm just giving a single threshold value. Okay, so let I of x comma y be the intensity value at a pixel location x comma y, and t is the threshold value. The segmentation is done as follows: like if I of x comma y is nothing but the function of x comma y. Okay, this is nothing pixel value. It represents the pixel value at a particular image. Okay, so I of x comma y is greater than or equal to t. Okay, I will set a threshold value. If it is greater than or equal to t means then it is labeled as 1. Okay, or else it is labeled as 0. That way we are separating the image. Okay, for instance, see here. So this is a figure. Okay. So I have set the threshold value as 120 here. Okay. The value below the 120, below the value 120. Okay. The pixel value which is below 120 means then it represents the foreground image. Okay. If it is above the value 120 means then it represents the background image. Okay, so this is an image given here. I have to separate from this image as a foreground and background image. This is the foreground image and this is the background image. Okay, so here if I make the threshold value 120, okay, and if the value lies below the threshold value 120 means then it forms an image and it will display the output as foreground image. Okay, so this is the diagrammatic representation of single threshold. Okay, so we will see in detail as this is the image segment. Okay, image segment in the sense if we have an image means, okay, there will be an image plane or image matrix we will form, like it contains and various intensity values. Okay, so this value ranges from 0 to 255, but in this image plane it is specifically ranges from 0 to 128 because the color ranges from 0 to 128 here. Okay, so see here in the first column there is 128, 128 and 128. Okay, so 128 represents a particular color, and then same 64 represents a particular color, and 32 represents a particular color. Like that it shows in various colors. Okay, so this is an image matrix. Okay, in this first row there is some value, and in the second row there are some value. Okay, we have to separate, okay, using the image histogram technique. We have to separate this thing into two regions. Okay, so we will see how we are separating. Okay, so first of all we have to compute the histogram of the input image. Okay, so how you will compute the histogram of a particular image? Okay, the histogram is nothing but, as I told already, it will give the frequency of occurrences of the gray level. Okay, so these are the gray levels. Okay, so 128, 64 and 32 are the gray levels. Okay, we have to note the frequency of occurrences of that particular gray level. For example, if 128 is used means how many times it is occurred in the particular plane. You have to calculate that. Okay, so see here, this 128 has been occurred 22 times. Like that, 64 is occurred 24 times. Okay, and then 32 is occurred 8 times, and 8 is occurred 10 times. Okay, so this is the first step in providing the image segmentation. Okay, in the case of single threshold. So we have to first determine the table, and then in the table we have to calculate the frequency of occurrences. Okay, so by using that we have to segment the image. We have to find out the threshold. Okay, so see here I'm setting the threshold over here, like from the table it is observed that the gray level which occurs least is 32. Okay, the 32 is the gray level which occurs least number of times, that is 8. Okay, so I'm setting the threshold value here as 32. Okay, so threshold is nothing but a cutoff value here. So the values which are greater than 32 are considered as the background image, and the values which are lesser than 32 are considered as the foreground image here. Okay, so I'm applying the rule over here. The pixel intensity value which is greater than 32, we are going to apply the rule 1, and for the pixel intensity which is lesser than the 32, I'm going to apply another rule. Okay, so in this kind only we are segmenting the image. Okay, so see here, this is the rule 1 and rule 2. Okay, so gray level which is less than or equal to 32, or I am putting as 1, and the gray level which is greater than 32 I am marking as 2 here. Okay, this is the image plane. Okay, in this image plane I'm just making as 1 and 2. Okay, the gray level which is greater than 32. See here, this is the image plane here. 128 is greater than 32. So I am here just marking as 2. Okay, the same thing, 2, 2, 2, and then 2, 2. Here I'm marking as 1 because it is less than or equal to 32. Okay, by using this I'm separating. I have been formed the matrix like this. Okay, in this matrix I have been separating the 2 alone. Okay, the 2 is nothing but the foreground image. Okay, I'm separating the 2 alone. Okay, so By separating the 1 and 2, I will get the background image and the foreground image. Okay, so this is the kind of thresholding based segmentation technique. Okay, I'm just taking a threshold value, and according to that threshold value, I'm applying some rules over there. I'm separating the using that rules. I'm separating the regions. Okay, using that regions, I have been segmented the image as foreground and the background image. Okay, so this is the thing using single threshold. And the next thing is double threshold. Okay, if you are going to separate an in an image, if you are going to separate some two kinds of image, you have to use the double threshold here. Okay, so here two threshold values are chosen instead of one threshold value, where if t1 is greater than t2 means let T1 and T2 be the two threshold value. If the function of x comma y is greater than T1 and function of x comma y is less than or equal to T2, then pixel x dot y in the output image is labeled 1, or else others are 0. Okay, if it ranges from this and this, okay, this function and this function, it is labeled as 1 or else 0. We have to mark it as 0 there. Okay, so this is a kind of double thresholding here. Okay, so the next thing is, see, the two threshold value have been set at like 120 to 145. Okay, then the first image is displayed in the result. Okay, if the threshold value is set from 155 to 150 to 175, the second image is displayed. Okay, so this is called as a double threshold value. So we will see the demo over here. So I have chosen an image from here, image plane. I'm choosing this image. Okay, see, if I touch somewhere in the image, it will display some position value like 72 and 56. Okay, so this is nothing but the pixel intensity value. This X represents the pixel intensity. Okay, and then Y represents the number of times the pixel value occurs in that particular plane. Okay, so 56 times the 72 value occurs in that plane. Okay, so that it denotes the pixel intensity value and the number of occurrences of the pixel intensity value. Okay, so I have chosen an image. Okay, I'm giving single threshold. Okay, I'm setting the single threshold here. I'm running the image. Okay, so this is the point a single threshold has been set. See, I have been separated the background and foreground image. Okay, so background images are marked as black color, and the foreground image is given in a white color. Okay, so the next thing is double threshold. Here I have to set two threshold value. Okay, and I'm going to separate this thing and this. Okay, see here. The background images are all fully white. Okay, and this is the object of interest. Okay, and this is the next image. The next, the second image, I have been given the object of interest over here. Okay, so this is the first image and this is the second image. It is displayed as black and this is displayed somewhat black colored, and this is the background image. Okay, so it is a kind of double thresholding. Okay, thank you everyone. Sir, is it, sir? I have finished the presentation, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The session is open now. Faculties, you can ask any queries if you have.
Thanks for the session, ma'am. It was a very useful session. Regarding image segmentation, I have a small doubt whether I mean in camera we are taking pictures, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So both whatever you told now regarding image segmentation and the pixels in camera also, whether they can relate this with the pictures in camera also.
Yeah, we can relate it. In digital cameras and all, there are separate thing called as image segmentation. I mean, they will segment the image. Okay, they will have an specific segmentation technique like a background and the foreground. They will separate from background and foreground pixel in digital cameras and all. Mostly photographers use this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It was a good useful session, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have some queries, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any special tool for analyzing this? What tool we can use for this image segmentation?
Sir, I don't know about the tools and all, sir. I'm just I don't know in detail about the tools and all, sir. I will.
Okay, okay. And do you have any idea on machine vision, ma'am?
Sorry, sir. Machine.
Machine vision. Machine
Machine
vision
vision.
technology. Yes, machine vision technology.
No, sir. No.
Okay. Faculties, any other queries you want to ask? Any more questions? QA session is open still. If you want to ask anything regarding this image segmentation, kindly raise your queries. Okay, then we will close the session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, one and all, who are listening my session. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.